Let's go ahead and solve this quadratic using the quadratic formula. And when I do this, I like to go ahead and start by labeling all of my variables. So what you'll notice, I'm going to say A, B, and C. And so I'm going to have A, B, and then I'm going to have C. And then I just follow it out. And I get these A's, B's, and C's over here by the quadratic formula. Okay, so A is going to be the value of 4. B is going to be the value of 11. That's attached to the linear term. And C is the constant, the one without the variable. And I'm going to write that that is equal to -20. From here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to start filling out the quadratic formula nice and easy. So I'm going to draw a big fraction line, and I'm going to start right here with this piece, that -b. It does say -b, and that just simply means opposite of b. And opposite of b, if we come over here where it says 11, the opposite of 11 is -11. And then I'm going to put plus or minus. I'm going to draw the big square root so we can put the discriminant under there. And then I'm just going to start filling in those numbers again. So it says b squared. So I'm going to write 11 squared. And I always put that in parentheses. That's a place where most students will make most of their mistakes. Minus 4. And then it says A times C. So I'm going to come back. A is right there. A times C. A is 4 times C. C is right here. That is -20. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that under in the denominator and put 2 times the A value again is what it says, A, and A is 4. So I'm going to put 4. So once we've plugged everything in, we're just simply going to start solving. I prefer to go ahead and start right here with our discriminant. And I usually write that number off the side because that tells us a lot. And we'll figure a little bit more about that later on. And I'm going to go type that in, 11 squared minus 4 times -20. Bada boom, bada bing, it's right there. Notice that the 11 is in parentheses, and we get 441. I'm going to go ahead and write that as my discriminant right now, 441. I like to pull that off to the side so I can look at it later, or if I need to look at it. Okay, from here, I'm just simply going to say, well, -11 plus or minus the square root of 441, that was our discriminant, over 2 times 4, which is 8. And we've simplified all the calculation there. I'm going to look at the square root of 441. We can break it down, or we can just type it in. So let's type in the square root of 441, and it turns out that it's 21. Nice whole number to start the day here. Okay, and I'm going to write -11 plus or minus 21 over 8. Now from here, we have two actual calculations we need to make. And I'm going to put these in two colors so you can see them, okay? We are going to have to do the over, the -11 plus 21. So I'm going to write that -11 plus 21 over 8. And then we're going to have to make the calculation that is -11 minus 21, the under. So -11 minus 21 over 8. And remember, that comes from taking the square root. Whenever we have a square root, there are two different answers, okay? And we're just going to simply do a little bit of simplification. And I'm going to do -11 plus 21. -11 plus 21 is 10 over 8. And that simplifies if we divide by 2 in the numerator and the denominator, 25 over 4, or 1.25. And then we're going to go to the next one. And we're going to make the next calculation, -11 minus 21, which is -32 over 8. -32 divided by 8. If we were to divide that, 8 goes into 32, so it must be -4. Okay, so we have two answers. X would be equal to -4, and it would be 5 over 4. Those would be our two answers that we can go ahead and write. All righty, y'all. I hope that helps with your homework. Comes straight out of our notes. Y'all have a great day and get that homework done.